In Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, the rugs of Smothering are rugs or tapestries animated through strong magic. They're commonly created by mages looking to ward their sanctums or workstations against prying eyes, using these rugs as a sort of living trap that's enchanted to attack anyone other than their creator. More often than not, these constructs were designed to look like the wondrous item known as a Carpet of Flying, meant to entice thieves and errant wizards into stealing them, only to then be suffocated by their prize. The Rug of Smothering has an AC of 12 and 33 hit points, with a speed of 10 feet. They have high strength and dex modifiers, but their other stats are pretty terrible. They're immune to poison and psychic damage, as well as the blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, paralyzed, petrified, and poisoned conditions. They have blind sight up to 60 feet and a low passive perception of 6. They're weak to anti-magic, falling unconscious if within the area of an anti-magic field, or if they're targeted by Dispel Magic and fail on a con save. They have the damage transfer trait, in which they take half damage when engulfing a player, and the player engulfed takes the other half. They also have the false appearance trait, rendering them impossible to distinguish from normal rugs when they remain motionless. They have only one action in combat, their Smother ability, which grapples a target and renders them restrained, blind, and at risk of suffocating. They also deal 5 to 15 free damage to this target at the start of the target's turn. As a DM, I would personally spice up this creature with flying speed or other abilities if it was meant to be a standalone encounter. However, it is my belief that as written, the Rugs of Smothering are meant to be treated as traps, or as additional monsters in a regular encounter. I would personally have one or two of these hidden in the sanctum of a magic practitioner that the party is hunting, ready to spring out and trap them to allow the mage to escape, or to back up the mage in combat. The strategy is very simple with this one, as they only have the one attack. They should be targeting the players closest to them, or those their master orders them to target, grappling them and then moving into combat to take advantage of their damage transfer trait. The target will be blind and restrained, meaning that most spellcasters will be at a severe disadvantage in the fight. The suffocation aspect is more dangerous outside of combat, as it takes 1+ Constitution modifier minutes for a creature to suffocate, and a round in combat is only 6 seconds. However, this in itself can be a way to distract players in a fight. The more dangerous aspect of this creature in a fight is that the longer a player is smothered, the more damage they take from the auto hit on their turns, and from any damage dealt to the rug. To make an encounter with these even more dangerous, I would have at least one rug per player, plus the magic user master, a group of enemies that have decent crowd control and damaging capabilities. Possibly the best known magical carpet in Mythology is that of the magic carpet owned by Prince Hussein of 1001 Nights. In his tale, he travels to India and purchases a flying carpet that allows him to travel wherever he wills, as long as he has the willpower to command it. This tale was popularized with more modern audiences in the 1990s, with the magic carpet character in Disney's Aladdin, which added sentience and personality to the myth, which in its origins purported that it was simply an enchanted object. This myth, however, is not the only one, with many cultures in antiquity having their own versions. Solomon's carpet, for example, was said to be 60 miles long and 60 miles wide, made of emerald green silk and golden trim that allowed him to, quote, breakfast in Damascus and sup in Medea. In Chinese mythology, the magic carpet was said to be a semi-sentient creature, equated to a magical monster that takes on the form of a carpet to hide in plain sight. However, very few stories make them out to be evil. Instead, they are creatures that allow heroes to ride them. In Russian folktales, Baba Yaga has access to enchanted flying carpets, as well as other magical rugs that do specific things depending on the tale. In comparing the monster to the myth, we find that the traditional flying carpet is clearly the inspiration here, but since D&D already has an item called a flying carpet, and that the Rug of Smothering is a 5e edition, it is my opinion that the monster designers took inspiration from the Chinese myths that give the otherwise simple magical item sentience. But instead of making these rugs creatures that aid heroes, they elected to make them creatures that hinder heroes and capture murder hobos alike. If you enjoyed that video, please leave a like and comment below, and consider subscribing to the channel. You can also join the Patreon for $1 a month to access videos days before they're posted here, as well as other exclusive stuff like short stories, videos, and more.